Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And today we have a special edition of Get Woke, Go Broke. Folks, the man said it best himself.
Everything woke turns to okay.
And like most things that Donald Trump has said in the past, most of the time, usually, he's right on the money, hits the nail right on the head. He is absolutely correct, and in many cases, predicting the future. And man, is that statement aging well. I mean, everything that goes woke eventually goes broke, and everything that goes woke eventually turns to ish. And it really doesn't matter what it is. Whether it's a TV show, a business, a legal battle, whatever the situation, it seems as though every single time you take that step in being overtly woke, apply wokeism as a doctrine, which is essentially a doctrine of discrimination and absolutely wacko ideas, every single time the individuals or the entities involved always end up getting the short end of the stick. And that's what I want to cover on in this video. Over the last, let's say, 2 weeks, I've been collecting all kinds of stories, all of them in relation to that overarching theme of get woke, go broke. I got some stuff to show you guys, but of course, before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. With that out of the way, let's roll the tape. All right, friends, so let's start off with Jon Stewart, a man that I grew up, frankly, idolizing. When Jon Stewart was hosting The Daily Show, I used to watch it religiously. Every single show, I didn't miss a single show. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, Real Time with Bill Maher, and of course, I can't forget Ron Paul were my 3 introductions into politics. And you know, with all the woke academia craziness going on in today's day and age, I really expected Jon Stewart to be a voice of reason in it all. When I heard that Jon Stewart was coming back and he was going to start a new show called The Problem with Jon Stewart on Apple TV Plus, I was excited. I was expecting maybe he's going to provide a little bit of sanity in this world of insanity, kind of like what Bill Maher's doing. I mean, we give the guy credit all the time. He's a lefty. He's as left as you can get. But at least when it comes to the crazy woke nonsense, he tells the truth. Unfortunately for Jon Stewart, it seems as though he took the path of least resistance and went full-on woke. And well, his show is going broke. Jon Stewart's new woke show tanks, loses 80% of viewers after first episode. That's a CNN level of tanking. The Problem with Jon Stewart was launched in September 2021 on Apple TV Plus. However, the show's ratings have been very much failing to meet expectations so far. Stewart's competition is doing much better, and people were expecting the show to perform on par with John Oliver's similarly themed Last Week Tonight show, which apparently pulls in close to 1 million viewers per episode on average. According to the New York Post, the show's first episode was seen by just 180,000 US homes in the first week it debuted last fall. Measurement firm Samba TV said the number dropped 78% to 40,000 by its 5th episode, which aired in early March. And that is crazy to think about. 40,000 people are tuning into Jon Stewart. The guy is a TV legend who was at the top of the entertainment world for over a decade, and now he'd be considered like a small YouTuber. Well, on second thought, that's not exactly fair. I mean, on Apple TV, he's barely getting any views. He's actually doing better on YouTube than he is on Apple TV Plus. A lot of his long segments even getting over 1 million views. But overall, for Jon Stewart, I mean, these numbers are terrible. It says 2 things specifically. The first is that nobody really watches TV anymore when Jon Stewart is doing better on YouTube than he is on Apple TV Plus. But not only marginally better, but like 10 to 20 times better. It shows you that legacy media and TV is crumbling and dying. And the second is, when you go woke, you go broke. The thing about YouTube is it's a double-edged sword. You don't make as much money on YouTube as you do on the legacy media network. And I highly doubt that The Problem with Jon Stewart is able to maintain the production quality, all of the people that they're hiring, the editors, the people filming, researching. I mean, it's a massive team with 39 million views on YouTube over the last year or so. 39 million views on YouTube would probably equate to about, let's say, $280,000 to $320,000, which would be absolutely fantastic if you were an independent content creator. But for a legacy guy like Jon Stewart, I mean, that is not keeping the ship afloat. Apple TV Plus is probably paying him millions upon millions of dollars. And so in my estimation, his show is going broke. And I wonder why. Well, I don't wonder. All Jon Stewart Stewart seems to talk about these days is identity politics, and from a very, very woke perspective. Just take a look at this. The problem with white people: taking responsibility for systemic racism. Dismantling racism is patriotic. Representation matters, but it doesn't solve racism. The racism spectrum with Leslie Jones. America isn't over its racist history. Nothing but identity politics, and he's doing it in the most snarky, condescending way possible. Here's Jon Stewart with two liberals who agree with him on the set, and one person who could be a conservative but is essentially arguing against systemic racism. And just take a look at how snarky and disrespectful and condescending they are, and the way Stewart treated that guest over the Zoom call.
At the end, I've appreciated everyone taking the time to do this. Boy, as it pointed out, some fault lines, we've got to recalibrate and find a way to be open to all different stripes of white people in the conversation, whether they be people who study it, people who spend their lives trying to change it, or people who are very upset about having to do that. Thank you very much, and
I mean, smug, condescending, insulting. You did it, Jon. You solved racism. But anyways, that's way too much time on Jon Stewart. We're already more than halfway through the allotted time for this video. We got a bunch of other get woke, go broke situations to cover. The next one is Colin Kaepernick, the man who compared the NFL to American slavery and the slave trade of the past, is now begging, pleading for an NFL opportunity. Colin Kaepernick sits for rare interview, pleads for NFL opportunity, even as a backup QB. The NFL's supposed to be a meritocracy, he says. Well, when the woke grifting money runs out, Colin Kaepernick runs right back to the NFL. What a complete joke. Talk about a hypocrite. Not really much else to say. I mean, you guys get it. Get woke, go broke. Next one. Ohio University pays $400,000 in damages to professor who refused to use students' preferred pronouns. A public university in Ohio will pay $400,000 to a philosophy professor who refused to use a student's preferred pronouns. The settlement arrives 4 years after the school punished the professor for not using the pronouns. The legal team for the professor argued the university violated the professor's First Amendment rights. Get woke, go broke. Here's another one. Court upholds bakery's $32 million victory against Oberlin College over false racism accusations. To update you guys on what happened here, Family Bakery at center of Oberlin College Race Row faces ruin as it continues to be boycotted by woke students for calling police on 3 black student shoplifters. And just recently, the court upholds their decision that Oberlin College must pay $32 million in damages to Gibson's Bakery. They peddled this woke nonsense, and they tried destroying a small family business for calling the police on shoplifters. And now they're stuck with the courts telling them they have to pay $32 million in damages to Gibson's Bakery. Liberals, you just ought to listen. That's the problem, you know? Just listen. Your judgment has been so clouded by all the anti-Trump hysteria, by the Trump derangement syndrome, and you didn't listen to the warnings.
everything woke turns to okay?
You should have just paid attention. You should have listened. You don't want to get woke and subsequently go broke. There's enough historical context at this point to prove that it's just a bad idea. It's called self-sabotage. Almost unanimously, the woke side is the losing side. And speaking of the losing side, it happened in Virginia, and it's about to happen in the 2022 election. And you can only blame yourself and your bad ideas. God, I love pure democracy and pure free markets. That's what I got for you guys though. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe. Share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.